Good evening. My name is Victor Ruiz, as you know, from Getting Healthy Today. Tonight I want to talk about a topic, forgiveness and letting go of grudges and bitterness. How many of you out there find it very difficult to deal with that issue, forgiveness? It's very hard to forgive people. How many of you in the comments below write down, it is difficult for you? Put a 1 down in the comments for saying, yeah, it is a difficulty for me. So one of the questions we're going to ask, about 10 questions. I'm going to try to answer all of them. And the first question is, what is forgiveness? I'm going to answer that question. Hey, Joe, how you doing? The second question is, what are the benefits of forgiving someone? The third question I'm going to answer for you tonight is, why is it so easy to hold a grudge against someone? What are the effects of holding a grudge? That's number 4. Number 5, how do I reach a state of forgiveness? Number 6, let me get that for you. I did have it written down. Number 6 is, what happens if I can't forgive someone? Number 7, does forgiveness guarantee reconciliation? Number 8, what if I have to interact with the person who hurt me, but I don't want to? Number 9, and 10 are the last 2. Number 9, what if the person I'm forgiving doesn't change? And number 10, what if I'm the one who needs forgiveness? How do I deal with that? Okay? So those are some of the things that we are going to talk about. So the first question we want to talk about is, what is forgiveness? So basically, forgiveness is being able to make a decision of letting go of resentment and thoughts of revenge towards someone else, right? So a lot of times it's very hard to do that sometimes, to let go. I want to give you a story about someone that I read about. One of the books that I read is Left to Tell. And that book was great because it talks about this woman that lived in Rwanda when that time period where the two tribes were killing each other. Unfortunately, she wrote about this, and I actually saw her in my church many years ago in person. She did like an hour-and-a-half conversation. And she talked about how her entire family was unfortunately killed by this one tribe. And unfortunately, as it happened, she became more fortunate. She was able to forgive those people, believe it or not, through her faith and prayer. And she was able to forgive all the people that killed her family. Now, how hard that would be for you. I can't believe someone would be able to do that, but I guess over time you can find a way to do that. Although, I relate to her in some ways because Fidel Castro unfortunately killed some people in my family when it became more of a communist country. A cousin of mine had her father was killed by him. He was a CIA agent. Then there's people that were in prison in my family, uncles and great uncles that had gone into prison because they were against Castro. And how do you forgive somebody like that? And some of them were killed. I had some great uncles that had their sons killed because they were against Castro, and those are things that are hard to forgive. Now, I believe there's some times where it's very difficult to forgive someone. I mean, a lot of times if someone kills your son or daughter or someone in your family, it's very hard to forgive. But experts say at some point you have to let that go, or it's going to eat away at you or your soul, and you need to do something about it. But that does come with a lot of effort from people. Hi, Jesse. All right, so number 2, what are the benefits of forgiving someone? Of course, you become much healthier as a result. You become greater in your spiritual sense, your psychological well-being. You become less anxious, less stressful, less hostile to other people. You lower your blood pressure. You have fewer symptoms of depression. You have stronger immune system. You improve your heart health, and you have higher self-esteem, believe it or not. Those are all things that can benefit if you're able to do that. Now, why is it so easy to hold a grudge? Well, when you're hurt by someone and you love and trust, you might just become angry, sad, or confused. But if you dwell on it, the hurtful events, it increases that resentment. And then you become vengeful, hostile, and it becomes a part of your being. So if you allow negative feelings to crowd you, you basically crowd out the positive part of you to come out. So you might find yourself swallowed up by that negative and bitterness feelings, and the injustice, and you want to do something harmful to someone else. Okay? So number 4, what are the effects of holding a grudge? What possible physiological or psychological issues may occur? Well, it can bring anger and bitterness to you into every relationship and new experiences. You can become so wrapped up in the wrong that you can't even think straight, you can't think properly, and you can't enjoy the present day life experiences that you're going through. You lose sense of what you're doing for a while. You can become depressed and anxious, preoccupied. You feel that your life lacks meaning or purpose, or that you're at odds with spiritual beliefs. You don't believe in God as much anymore, maybe. You start to lose faith in some way. You'll either lose faith in God, lose faith in yourself, or lose faith in some system that could have gave you some wrong. You lose valuable, enriching connectedness with other people. So your relationships suffer as a result. All right, number 5, how do I reach a state of forgiveness? Well, forgiveness is a commitment to a process of change. And to begin, you might consider the value of forgiveness and the importance in life at a given time. Reflect on the facts of the situation and how you've reacted, and how this combination can make your life more healthier and have a better well-being. You actively choose to forgive the person who offended you. You don't always have to forgive. It's up to you. Remember that. And anyway, forgiveness is, if you ask for forgiveness, it's for you, it's to help you in that situation. You may not get someone to forgive you, but that is your point. You're trying to get help in that way to feel better. Now, you want to move away from being a victim and release the control and power of the offending person and the situation that you've had in your life. So as you let go of grudges, you will no longer define your life by how you've been hurt. And now you can move on with more compassion and understanding of others. All right, number 6. We're slowly getting there, but we're getting there. Number 6 says, what happens if I can't forgive someone? Well, forgiveness can be a challenging situation, especially if the person that you're having problems with doesn't admit that they're wrong. So that's a hard thing to deal with. How do you deal with someone who doesn't speak of his or her wrongdoings and sorrow? Now you find yourself stuck and you don't know what to do with this issue. Well, consider the situation from the other person's point of view. Ask yourself why he or she would even behave in such a manner. Perhaps you have reacted similarly if you were faced with this issue as well, or the same situation. Reflect on the times that you've hurt other people and those who have forgiven you. How did that go? Now, another thing that a person could do is be more aware that forgiveness is a process, and that even with the smallest of hurts, you may need to be able to revisit and forgive over and over again. So, like we said, it's a process, and it's something that evolves over time. It's not going to come overnight, and the person can't expect you to forgive them. That shouldn't be in their mindset. Now, number 7 question. Does forgiveness guarantee reconciliation? If every hurtful event involves someone whose relationship you have otherwise valued, forgiveness can lead to reconciliation. However, this isn't always the case. Reconciliation may be impossible if the offender has died or is unwilling to accept your communication with them. So unfortunately, a lot of people that I've met in the field that I do, mental health and stuff, there are times where they wanted forgiveness from their parents, but their parents were not alive anymore. So sometimes they would have to write a letter to their father or to their mother so that they can get those feelings out, and it helped them to cleanse that tension that they felt. Even though they didn't have the person in there, the fact that they were able to out loud say it, or even maybe write it down on a piece of paper as a letter format, that helped them to at least get some of the hurt that they're feeling off their chest, so it's not embedded in their mind and not preoccupied with that issue. Number 8, what if I have to interact with the person who hurt me and I don't want to? Well, if you haven't reached a state of forgiveness, being near the person who hurt you can prompt you to be tense, stressful, and how do you handle these situations? Well, remember that you could choose to attend or avoid specific places they go, or places that you would be forced to be with them. Hey, Carmine. Hey, Julio. So now you want to respect yourself to see what seems best. Okay? Now, number 9 question. What if the person I'm forgiving doesn't change? Well, getting another person to change his or her actions is very difficult, and the behavior or words that they use of forgiveness, it changes. So think of forgiveness more about how can it change your life rather than changing other people's life. Other people are not so willing to do something. You're going to have to go with the flow and realize that they're not going to do anything about it. So number 10, what if I'm the one who needs forgiveness? The first step is to honestly assess and acknowledge the wrongs you've done and how wrongs have this harming effect on you. So you want to identify all the things you've done and be able to accept that through for that process. You want to keep going in that direction. So if anybody has any questions, let me know in the comments section below. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to join in and let me know. Just let you know, tomorrow I'll be doing another broadcast at 9:30 where I'm going to be talking about video marketing. How, if you have a business of your own, how can you get yourself out there doing videos and how to get your point across about your business. That's something to let you know. Also, feel free to check me out on Getting Healthy Today, where I show you 4 ways of how to help yourself through 4 different ways of health goals that you may have: weight loss, fitness, wellness, and weight loss. So all those, you can check them out at my website, and you can go to Getting Healthy Today and check out my website there. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter. I'm also available on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel, Getting Healthy Today. You can check me out there. And also this weekend on live here on Facebook, I'm going to be doing my Blog Talk radio program at 11:30 to 12. So join me then. I hope you've enjoyed this broadcast, and those people on the replay, thank you also for showing up. And thank you for your support, everybody who came in today. Brianna, Jesse, Carmine, and Julio, and Joe, thank you so much. Please, you're free to like, share, and comment this broadcast. I love the support. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye.